Hello everyone, welcome to my first ever Doomtown Reloaded video. Here is a tournament game between myself on the right and Andy on the left at the Cardiff Sheriff a couple of weeks ago. Andy is playing Desolation Row and I'm playing, for some reason, the Gadgetorium. I didn't fancy going with any of the standard things, so I eventually won top Morgan, even though I came 8th, because I was the only Morgan player. That's what you get for playing Gadgetorium in a tournament. So start, Andy has already used the fixer and he got a Yan Lee tailoring from that. He also showed me a bottom dealing, a coach whip, a pearl handle revolver and a Lawrence Blackwood, so I think he's playing something like 3, 4, 5 as values. And here I am playing Mechanical Horse, and he's already run the job with Pancho. He's got plenty of money. Don't think early game I've really got anything to resist against Pancho and Angelica running the Desolation Road job. I'm starting William Specs, the original Orlando Bowman, Jen and Jake Smiley. So I've only got a single stud in Jen and 2 stud once she's got the Mechanical Horse, but not really too much bullet or stud ability to really oppose the Desolation Road job. This tournament is from before there was no turning back, so we're only up to whatever the set before was, and I've already forgotten. Frontier Justice there. See, Andy's played his Yan Lees that he took from the fixer. We're already on to the second day, not doing much. I think I've got an auto revolver on a lander and a Mechanical Horse on Jen. So starting to get set up, but I don't have any deeds or any control points at the moment. Whereas Andy has the one with his Yan Lees. Fairly even in low ball. I think Andy was pretty lucky to draw a straight with a joker in low ball, so obviously he then chose not the joker to finish the straight. Instead went for just a high card. I think we're both running similar structured decks. Mine is a 7, 9 and queens, roughly sort of a 3 times 16. I think Andrew is running 3, 4, 5 with a straight flush on clubs as well, which make it quite annoying for shootouts. Andy has sent the original Ali Hensman to the town square. He said at the start of the game that he has sort of 2 starting posses or that he goes with. One of them has Ali in. I think the other one I think it replaces Pancho or Angelica. I can't remember which. And this was a nice trick I learnt when I was playing against Andrew. So you run the Desolation, you send Ali into the town square to boot to gain her control points. Then you start your Desolation Row job, and obviously Ali joins the posse. She doesn't need to be unbooted because it's at her location in the town square. And obviously, when the job ends, she can go back and be safe at home and can't be called out. So it's a nice little trick that I learned there from Andy. I've not yet used it. I think Desolation Row now is on the downward overall. I think there's been recently a lot of anti-bounty and anti-wanted cards out there, punishment. I think probably Law Dogs and Fourth Ring probably now either on par or slightly above Sloan. I definitely think Desolation Row is probably the better of the 2 Sloan cards. I don't really see too much Sloan, or it is starting to make a comeback. But yeah, and Morgan is for some reason not doing very well at all. Although even at the London tournament I went to last week, there was a lot of Morgan players who did very well. I think if you're not expecting to go up against landslide / do's and deeds, whatever you want to call it, it can be quite a difficult matchup. So here we go into the 3rd day already. Not a lot's been happening. I'm just sort of building up with my gadgets. Andy just running his Desolation Road job and getting lots of money. Desolation Road, very good income generation. I mean, if you already have the base 3 and then you get the extra 2 or 3 from whoever is running the job, it's always very good. I think Andy's back with the low ball winner, and just see what he does here. I think he'll send Ali to the town square again, gain another control point. I've not really got anything to oppose A doing that just yet. Alright, first of all he goes to Charlie's place, and he's going to use this very nicely in order to raise the bullets on his various dudes before sending them onto their destination row jobs. Again, a very nice synergy with the destination row. I think when it first came out, there were a lot of very useful cards, or the pool of cards was already there really in support of destination row. I mean, you've got Angelica, who can always join the posse even when she's at home or at an adjacent location. Here Andy's going to show, he's going to, as he shouts combo, he's going to basically boost Angelica to get a ridiculous number of bullets on her. I think get her to 4 stud, and then either she or Pancho can run the destination row job. And if Pancho runs it, then Angelica will can either come in if I oppose, or she can just stay there if I don't, and she's still available for moving around. So there he goes, he boots Charlie's place, gives Angelica the extra bullets, and off we go. And I think here I'm now starting to ponder whether I should be thinking of opposing some destination row jobs. I don't quite know what I've got in my hand. It looks there I might have a pin down, I think. I might have another, I think I've got a deed, I think it might be a Blake Ranch, but I've got 2 auto revolvers, so I've got an auto revolver on Alander, an auto revolver on Jen, and I've also now got 2 mechanical horses on both of them. So I've got some movement abilities there. I don't have a huge amount of ghost shot generation, only +7. I think I'm -2 on my income, so just 5 a turn, which isn't really enough to be too manoeuvrable. But there's Blake Ranch, gives me more money. Ali's off the town square, and the control points are starting to rack up for Andy now. I think he's up to 4 already with Charlie's place, Yanley, and then the 2 on Ali Hensman. I think I only got 5 influence to start with, so I'm not. It's looking like what could be one of those quick games already, but I think I'm hanging there for a little bit longer. I think this one goes to time eventually with the Gadgetorium. So that's, what a find with the Gadgetorium. It's quite a slow deck. They're not very quick off the draw. I mean, you really need to spend a bit of time building up a couple of dudes to give them a good enough amount of gadgets to make them both manoeuvrable and survivable. And you want to better sort of, when you go into a shootout, not just lose dudes willy-nilly. And really, the Morgan dudes don't have a lot of base bullets to start with. They don't have very many cheap stud dudes who are there. So you really need, especially sort of thing like Jen, where she's a naught stud by default, and you really need like sort of that mechanical horse to give her 2 stud. And really with this deck, I'm trying to combo Auto Revolver with some studs. So I've got a lot of draw bullet guys. So I've got Alander, William, and Jake. But I have now got 2 Auto Revolvers out already. So that means whenever I do draw, I'll get an extra 2 cards. So essentially I've got a 2 stud. I think here I am going to oppose the Desolation Row job. So yeah, here go Alander and Jen. So I've opposed with all 3, I think, there. And Andy's going to have the first shootout action. I can't even see that card. It's an ace of clubs. Let's see if I can... make them sweat, that was. So beat your dudes, reduce another dude's bullet by your bullet rating. So Angelica joins. That's a 4 stud there with. So Andy's going to have 10 cards with 1 draw, and I'm going to have. I'm on 6 with 3 draw. So Andy looking very good. But I can't quite remember how this shootout goes. I don't think I die horribly, but I mean it never looks too good. I suspect we might both here get 4 houses or something. Or although with 10 stud, you sort of, that's the range you're expecting that sort of straight flush draw to be available. It's very difficult to judge with a straight flush. I think is of how likely you are to get that straight flush, how much stud you really need to sort of feel good about drawing it. But then you're always with the backup of the 3x16. You always got that full house backup in case things go wrong. Just Annie looking at his hand here. I think, well, he accidentally dropped the Sun in Your Eyes, but he's having a look at the discard. I think he's choosing whether he wants to cheat or not. I suspect he's going to avoid it. So I've run a very cheat-heavy deck here with 9s and queens. You've got cheating varmint, and it's not who you know, or it's who you know. I can't remember. It's not what you know. Sorry. Both give me some quite harsh cheating punishment, and I mean, especially with it's not what you know. Even if he does draw sort of full house, or straight flush, he's thing. So what are we? We've got full houses here. So Andy's got 5/4s, and I've got queens over 7s. I pass on my resolution, as does Andy. Oh no, I think we're back on resolution. So I play It's Not What You Know. So I'm now up by 1 hand rank, so not losing any dudes. And he chooses to lose Pancho there. He doesn't obviously want to lose the control points with that Ali's got on her. Now I think we're deciding whether to stay or go. And he's staying. I think here I'm going to go home. There's not a lot of... Still 4 stud Angelica in the posse, so I've sort of stopped the immediate threat. Still got the 2 mechanical horses as well, so if things really, if he does get a sudden rush of control points, I can always move my mechanical horses to sort of take control of his control points. So, and he goes home as well, and that's the thing as well. So, with Angelica drawing the posse, she has to go home as well. So she's not available to protect Charlie's place. So he's only got Makayo and Jake there to offer any protection. Turns out though we both pass, and we go on to the next day. And in this position, I'm not. So it's a bit of a really. I'm hanging in there, I'd say, at this point. I don't. This is a problem I found in the deck towards the rest of the day was sort of finishing out games or finishing off opponents, in that I was running 4 pin downs, and on 7s there's you've got kidnapping, which is obviously a popular card, and I think if I had been playing kidnapping I probably could have done a lot better in the day. Overall I went 1 and 3 with my with a Gadgetorium deck, which it's not great when you're trying to win, and I think a lot of that was to do was I faced a lot of times where my opponent would just leave dudes at home with to high influence, and there was just nothing I could do to get rid of them and pull them down and get closer to winning. And so I think that's key. I think in any strong shootout deck is you want something that can go after your opponent's dudes at home or where they think they're safe, and really get to a point where you can take out those high influence dudes who are just there to keep them in the game or put them in a stronger position. Andy's here just looking through a discard pile. I'm pretty sure it's most of my deck at this point, and I think he's going to very quickly work out that it's 7 9s and queens. I've still got both my jokers, which were a late change to my deck. I'm not a huge fan of jokers, but then really if you are running a strong shootout deck you need those jokers if you want to get your 5 of a kind without cheating, or even to give you a stronger chance of getting your 4 of a kinds non-cheating. Full house is very easy to get, and you're very likely if you're against another strong shooter you're unlikely to be winning by a lot, I think, unless you get lucky and you can really reduce their bullets and they draw something a very poor hand, maybe like 2 pair because they've not found the 3rd card of either pair. Whereas sort of 4 of a kind, 5 of a kind, especially non-cheating, you really got a good shout of winning that, and actually causing a lot of casualties. So what am I doing here? I'm going to invent another mechanical horse. Drawing all my mechanical horses. And the inevitable shuffle of a deck after having fully discarded everything. I think even at this point in the game, we're fairly even. I'd still, in hindsight, I think Andy is winning considerably because I just don't have any way of taking out those high influence dudes. But if I were to sort of at the point in the game, I probably thought I was doing reasonably well. I mean, I've just taken out Pancho, who's been running the job very easily, and so I've really only got Angelica left as a very strong shooter to take out. And I must be thinking, well, I'm in a strong position. What am I going to? Am I going to invent some more gadgets here? I mean, I'm pretty tooled up now. Oh no, I've got Arvid, the excellent shooter that he is, and he can take all those useful things that everybody else has. And now he's pretty tooled up. So I've got mechanical horse on him, mechanical horse on Alander, mechanical horse on Jen, 2 auto revolvers, 1 on Arvid, 1 on Jen. So I've got a 4 stud of my own now. And I've played the Morgan Research Institute there, so I'm starting really to sort of make a lot of money, although at this road point I think I've only got 2 left after playing both Arvid and the Morgan Research Institute. Andy plays Sloane, not something I was expecting from Andy's deck. I think when you've been seeing a lot of very low cards, and obviously he's going for that straight flush, ace to 5, and Sloane very difficult to deal with, being a natural 4 stud. I don't have a huge amount of bullet reduction in this deck. I've got Pin Down, which obviously gives you -3 bullets, but it doesn't nowhere near as good as I think your Sun in Your Eyes, which turns that stud into a draw. I mean, I'd much rather be taking Sloane from 4 stud to 2 draw than from 4 stud to 1 stud. And especially, I mean, when you've got the backup of Angelica of 4 stud, you want to. I think just reducing bullets isn't going to be enough. So Andy here starts another Destination Road job. He goes with Sloane and Jake. I think Jake's there now just to sort of bullet basically soak up some casualties if things start going wrong. I let the Sloane job pass. I don't think I've got any. Probably don't have any bullet reduction in my hand. I don't really want to boot the mechanical horse in. Whereas see now I'm moving to the town square. I think sort of this is now the time when I'm thinking I've got to really stop these Destination Road jobs. He's made a lot of income from it. He's not got too many control points from the bounties, and so if I can stop him getting any more bounty, I'm going to stop him getting any control points. So now I've got Arvid, Jen, and Lando all in the town square. I've got to take one of me my draw guys, otherwise my auto revolvers basically are completely useless. So that single Lando gives me effectively an extra 2 bullets or 2 stud bullets along with my main stud shooter, so I think it's quite a good payoff auto revolver. Very good. St Anthony's Chapel, I think that is. So I'm starting to get some control points of my own. Possibly this is where the deck really sort of started to go downhill, I think, here, because while I'm getting a lot of deeds out, that gives Andy lots of places where he can now go and get my control points when, if we have a big shootout and things, one of us goes home, it leaves it in the opportunity where we can basically just go and finish off the game by taking out some deeds. So Andy there, he's played Barton, and then not something I really want to see was more dudes. We've both passed out, and I think the next Destination Road job which I was running is the one I'm going to oppose, already being in the town square. I've got Specs at home there if I need to invent anything. I've got Jake, just sort of keep him influence up. He's not going to do much. I've got a 3 of a kind on my low ball hand, so not doing too well there. And Andy has been pretty good at winning low ball with this deck. I mean, that's what you get when you sort of have a few off more values. When you go for the straight 3x16, you're very, very likely to lose low balls, or there's a lot more randomness as to how well low ball's going to go, because sometimes you're going to draw sort of a full house maybe, or three of a kind, and other times you're maybe going to draw a pair. I don't quite know what Andy had there. I think it was seen. I did get low though, so I think he had a legal full house. And I'm starting to get my money now. But I think the other problem I had with this deck is lots of dudes to play with it. You see, I've got a joker in hand again, so I can't get that out. Is this me going to play a dude? I'm not sure. Yep. So there's James Getty, some basic stud. Angelica off to Charlie's place to get more bullets. Probably should have sent one of my dudes there instead, actually, to oppose that, so she couldn't just get lots of bullets, and probably would have been better for me. That's Pearl-handed revolver there going on Ali Hensman. So another stud shooter for Andy. So he's got the 4 stud of Sloane, the 4 stud of Angelica, 2 stud on Barton, two stud on Ali. Lots of studs. So we're getting to that point in the game really where it's coming down to that key shootout, which is going to decide the game. Unless Andy, I think Andy does it while running a Desolation Road job. I think I'm questioning here whether I should send Jake or Specs to the town square. He moves in, so obviously got no gadgets in hand, presumably, that I wanted to play. Another auto revolver will give me another thing. So Barton's running the job. I oppose with. Well, I think I'm going to oppose, so they all join the posse. So. Big shootout, and lots of stud for Andy. Lots of stud on either side. So I put Jake in. I think Andy agrees with me. This is sort of the game. I see a sun in your eyes there, I think, in Andy's hand. So he's obviously been stacking those shootout actions for sort of this. I think he's seen me building up to that point where I'm going to oppose. And now here we are. So I think it's my shootout action first. I don't think I've played anything just yet. I remember James Getty gets 4 Ghost Rock. I don't think I can actually do anything with it. I've got no flamethrowers in this deck. But I think I'm just buying my time to trying to decide what I want to do. So I've still got that Joker in my hand. That's not going to do anything. Not had a chance to circle M before to try and draw a better card or something more useful. So here I think I'm going to play Pin Down. So I play Pin Down on Sloane. So now he's only got a 2, 2, 1 and a 4 with Angelica. So Andy plays Pistol Whip. And I think here he's going to send Arvid home. He is 4 stud Arvid. I mean, Jen still is a 3 stud. And I've still got my 2 auto revolvers. So I've still effectively 4 stud. And then there's a sun in your eyes there on Jen, so I think I've got 1 stud. I think I've in this game I've not seen any of my biocharge neutralizer. I've not played any. I don't know if I've got sort of this thing. I think it's a good gadget for making stud, but obviously with the auto revolver, well, I want to keep some draw dudes around to keep drawing those extra bullets. Because effectively, if you have lots of each auto revolver gets you an extra card. I suppose each one stud does, but you don't also get the draw, so you can't change them up. So what am I changing out? 1 there, getting 3 cards. I think Andy was on 11 cards here. I think I don't think he's got his straight flush. I think he's looking very closely to see if he's got it, but I don't think he has. I think I may have a cheating card here still. Yeah, we're just both going through, making our hands. I think I might have full house here. I don't remember drawing anything better. I don't know if I had a chance to cheat here. I don't think really I want to. I mean, I saw at the very early game. I know Andy's running coach whip. I know he's running bottom dealing. So I mean, he's got some cheating punishment. He's still got 2 cards in hand. So he likely would only have gone all in like that if he really had some, I think, good anti-cheating or good resolutions to punish me if I want to go. So he knows even if we were even, we're probably still going to be in a good position. I'm just seeing how long is left there, and Andy's still looking in his hand. I don't think he's got his straight flush, so let's see what he's got. So you both got legal full house there. So you both take a casualty. I think I'm going to lose. It's William Specs, I think, or Jake. I would hope I chose William. I think I've got most of my gadgets out. I don't really need many more. Jake gives me that influence, although William does allow me to take it during the day. So what do I decide? No, I'll get rid of Jake. Maybe because he's booted. I can't quite remember. That seems a bit of a misplay there. I think probably should have taken Specs. I've got a lot of gadgets in my hand and I want to play them. Andy, I think, has made the decision he wants to stay. I think I'm just deciding whether I do or not, and probably I shouldn't have, because obviously Andy would have all gone home booted. I would have all gone home booted, and game wouldn't be over. And then it only gives me a 4 Stellan Angelica I can possibly pin down and get rid of her. So probably a mistake to stay here for me. Although having drawn 2 full houses already. I've got to feel pretty confident that I'm going to draw another. Obviously, not. I don't think I realised that Andy's probably got the chance at a straight flush here. See, I've drawn. I don't think I've got a joker or anything there. I think this is my dreaded 4 pair hand that really is going to finish me off. I'm not sure. I didn't think I had anything that could cheat. Maybe I had something that could cheat to get me a full house, but I think even that probably I don't want to. Bottom, like, as I said, bottom dealing or coach whip. I mean, coach whip is going to take out Jen or I imagine, or James here. Andy, I think, still waiting on his redraw. I can't quite see how many control points Andy's got. I think he's got 1, 2. I think he's got 3 on Ali there. So that gives him 5. And I think, yeah. So here I've got a legal 2 pair, and I'm down 4 ranks. So I lose James and I lose William. I've got 5 influence left, which I think is very close to what Andy's got in his control points. So I've got to stay now, I think. I don't have a lot of money, so I can't really move around. Although Andy would boot home, I think. So I probably forgot in the last round of the shootout that he has brought everyone in. They will go home booted. Yeah, so 3 Ali, and he's got 2 control points. I can't see how much. I think he's got 2 money there. We'll get another 2 from Barton completing the job. So if he has got a deed in his hand, it would I would have to go after it to stay in the game. I'm thinking long and hard here. Probably I mean, if I stay here and I get Ali, then obviously it gives me a much better chance of winning, because I've taken out lots of control points. I've got a fair amount of influence. I think I've got 5 influence, 3 control points. He'd have 3 influence, or I think 4 influence, 1 on Mackay, 1 on Barton, and 2 on Jake. So I decide to stay, and Andy stays. So still not. Well, obviously only one joker left in deck, with the other one being in my hand. Still, obviously lost it much earlier. Another 10 cards for Andy. Really is very strong, the Desolation Row, for getting lots of stud, especially with that Charlie's Place or Angelica, and being adjacent to her home. Very easily move there in one action, and then boost up with another action, and then go on the road job. And straight flush from Andy against my legal 4 of a kind, that looks like. So I think I'm down by 1 casualty. I think here I'm choosing now. I think it's not what you know, so we both take a casualty. And so I lose a lander, and so I decide to go home. I can't really afford with Jen to lose Jen and have Arvid booted. I think I've only got 2 money. I mean, maybe it wasn't a job. It was just a call out, I think, actually. I don't think this was Annie running the Desolation Road job. Yeah, so I think I've only got 2 money left. So even if I move Arvid over or someone, then I've only got 5 influence, and that's game. So thanks for watching. Please do give me any feedback. I'll try and get better at commentating as I go along. But yeah, thanks for joining, and see you in another video soon.